I'm Brandon.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome back to Apollo City Comics, your everything and anything. I still messed it up. And we started this episode. So, hey, your anything and everything comic book podcast. One day I'll score that. I went in with confidence, too. That's a shame.
It's okay, because you go in with confidence every time.
I try. But, guys, we took a little break after our 100th episode, our third anniversary, and we thank you guys so much for all your support and everything all of our listeners have done for us over these last 3 years. It's super crazy to see, people even checking this out, just in general.
Holy shit, people listen to this.
Yeah, so we appreciate it by all means. And we have so many cool things in store for you, and we're so excited to get to it. But it's Thanksgiving, so we couldn't, let you guys go without a holiday episode. But first, you know what? Go head over to coffeeandacomic.com and set up a pull list. Hit up Frank. He's a great guy. Check out his Instagram. He always goes over new releases, final cutoff orders, and he has packages for so many cool things like Spawn the Scorched, Something is Killing the Children he has a package for, and those are the Dave Mackey covers, and those are gorgeous. So head over there, check that out. You get a 10% discount code with below. And no, we don't get paid for any of these ads. We're just really cool with these people. I would admit if we got paid. I wish that'd be cool. But no, we get a 10% discount. So check that out below. And what's up with our homies over at Lesser Known Comics?
So if you've been following us or Lesser Known Comics, you should know that their Kickstarter recently finished. Oh my god, why? I don't know why I was getting all tongue-tied. Their Kickstarter finished not too long ago. And they barely made it, but they did hit their goal, thanks to everybody that helped back it. And depending on the tier that you backed, you'll be getting your books or whatever your prize may be for backing the project at some point in December. I want to say it's probably about mid-December.
The way shipping is nowadays, yeah, we'll see. It's not even on them at that point.
Yeah, it's just everything's crazy right now with shipping, so just a little patience. But as of now, whatever you should be getting in the mail should be coming about in mid-December, I want to say. At least as of now. But one thing to keep in mind is to keep an eye on your email. Check any email regarding Lesser Known Comics or the Kickstarter. Only because there is a change in books. I believe there's an opportunity to choose a book over another. So definitely check your email to double check all of that. But yeah, just keep an eye out for anything like that just so you can choose your book.
Yeah, so we also have something super exciting to announce in today's episode, as kind of a thank you to reach out to some of our fans too. But we're doing a live episode December 7th on our YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check out our Instagram, and we'll have a flyer up for that and stories so you guys could check it out. But we're doing an overrated and underrated episode, so any participation, I don't know where that came. Participation from audience members. Just tell us what, if you just name us a character, name us a series, name us a creator, and we'll give our thoughts, and we'll have a fun little time. And it's our first live episode, so we're really excited for it. December 7th on our YouTube, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. But aside from that, we have a Thanksgiving episode for you all today. Last year we did Alan Moore's Volume 1, Swamp Thing, and we typically try to change stuff up, but I have the rest of this absolute eye to read. So we're doing Alan Moore's Volume 2, Swamp Thing.
He's like, I gotta read this shit, so let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's just knock it out right now. So I mean, we're big Swamp Thing fans. I'm a huge Swamp Thing fan.
Oh, I mean, it's this. We've talked about it before. This series is the one that makes you a Swamp Thing fan.
Yeah, honestly, this is the one that really I love Bernie Wrightson. I adore Bernie Wrightson's art. He is the man. I respect him so much. But you know what? I just dig this so much more. It's crazy.
It's a different book, right?
Yeah, it's totally different. And even that, I think Rick Vetch or something like that. I believe that's his name. Wrote, after Ben and Bernie and Ling, when they left, that guy took over, and then it got weird, like wacky weird, like almost you could see the evolution from like being a horror book, and then what it turned into that weird wackiness, kind of crazy monster thing that was going on, and then Alan Moore kind of got all of that, made it super cool. Just like it's like what he does with anything.
Yeah, I can't unhear that one thing that was brought up about Swamp Thing in our 100th episode, or Alan Moore in our 100th episode.
Oh, with Jack Kirby? I mean, he literally is the world's greatest fan fiction writer. Like, he doesn't do very much like original work in that sense. And
he's the master of remixes.
For real. I respect it. Like, it's good stuff. It's great storytelling. You know what I mean? That's what matters is the story when it all comes down to it. But he is just like the DJ of comics.
I know.
Oh man, people are gonna kill me for that. Like the greatest comic book writer ever around. But it's kind of true. He kind of pulls a bunch of stuff together, and he steals a lot, as like what Kari Andrews was saying in our interview. Part of the process of being an artist in that sense.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just if you want something original out of them, you kind of don't really get that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's not a bad thing either. It's just like it definitely creates a different lens when reading Alan Moore. Like you're like, oh yeah, this is like someone else's idea. He just kind of built off of.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's not like Sandman. Say that. Or stuff like that. There's a number of things that are just completely original. Ed Brubaker and all of them doing crazy stuff. It does put a different, like you said, just a shade. There's like a visor now whenever I look at his work. But let's dig in. Before I wanted to start the book, I just wanted to show you guys this dope figure that my best friend Eric Plaza got me. This was like a year ago for Christmas, but it's kind of like one of not watching the YouTube video right now, but I'll post it on Instagram. It's kind of like one of those Mezco or Mezzo, whatever they're called, figures, like the robot the robot chicken looking figures. You know what I mean? And it actually has what looks like the Alan Moore and you have Abby in the background. This trippy bayou, but it's meant to be a vintage figure. And I just thought this was like a cool show today. So Figures Toy Company is who made it. But it's just so corny. I love it. It's so goofy. But today we're doing issues 29 through 34 and the annual. And you know what? We're not gonna do our typical like really thorough breakthrough. This is such a dense series. We can turn that into a 3-hour episode. So instead, we're gonna kind of pound
the whole college course.
Yeah, like this entire volume has so much packed into it. We could do an hour on every issue. But let's kind of kickstart it where we left off in our previous episode. Kind of to recap, you guys, this is when Alan Moore was reinventing Swamp Thing and really took away the humanity that was Alec Holland and just kind of birthed a new organic elemental figure, and it totally twisted things around for how what Swamp Thing does. He went from being this kind of I don't know, clay-like green creature from Bernie Wrightson into this like monstrous like peeling like John Carpenter the Thing kind of ability type of creature. And you see him evolve throughout the series like that. As seasons change, as he gets older in that body, or when he switches bodies and grows out of other plants and everything. It's really interesting how they kept up with that. Steve Bissette and John Totleben were why this series. Not only the writing, but the whole team on this book is why this series is so phenomenal. It wouldn't be half of what it is. It didn't have these artists on it, I think.
Well, not just that. I think like the book is like a testament of how you can kind of flip things on its head. I don't remember if we really talked about this, but I know we brought up before that the book was about to be canceled when Alan Moore was put on it. It was like not selling well, and they were like, well, there's this new writer, let's just throw him on there. And then there was like a complete reversal where it went from almost being canceled or on the way to being canceled to being like like pretty much one of the most pinnacle runs of any DC character ever.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's this is the monumental thing. It's what's crazy about this too is that I think by the time they got on the book, this team not only was about to be canceled, but I believe DC had sold all of its like intellectual rights. So like movie rights and all that type of stuff was like already gone. So this was the only thing that DC profited on. That was Swamp Thing.
Oh, wow.
Not the Wes Craven movie, not the other one. Yeah, that wasn't even in their possession. This was the only thing DC was getting from this character. And so these guys got paid kind of like bottom of the barrel, you know, money for it. But damn, that's passion the way they transformed this book. And like the panels, layouts, and you know, coloring from the original coloring to like what's on the page now with the recoloring is just night and day. It's crazy. I believe. So there's like three editions of this. You're reading the trade paperback. That's kind of very popular. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. I think that has the original coloring.
Yeah, we talked about this before because yours has like an updated coloring.
The absolute edition does. Yeah. And then I also have single edition too. So I like comparing the two. Like the contrasting colors and shades and you know things they kind of switched up on you and whatnot.
Yeah, let's try to make it more modern, I guess.
Yeah.
It.
But so this is kind of a crazy spot to start up on because it's one of the most horrific first pages you'll ever see. I love the detail and pacing. They have such a ability to direct with their art that you see a full landscape so easily, and it's so haunting and mysterious from just the get-go. Like from the living room and the matches, the broken bottles, the tub with liquids all over the floor, and then you're in the kitchen with blood, and then it's this like scrubber that's like enlarged in your face, and in the background you have Abby just covered in blood. And that's how we begin this volume.
Wait, what issue does yours start on?
Oh wait, are you on 20? Oh my god, I started on because I don't have issue 28 in regular.
Oh,
28.
Yeah, it starts on 28. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
No. Okay, so talk about the dopest cover ever. Issue 28. I love this cover. I think I have this signed by John Totleben in a CGC.
That's pretty awesome. The one where he's carrying the skeleton.
Yes. This is where he really puts to rest Alec Holland. And you know that's what this whole issue is kind of about. That's the whole theme of it. Is Swamp Thing, you know, really kind of putting away the past, like losing the last little bit of humanity in that sense. Because he still has humanity, you know, his emotions and thoughts and everything. But like in the sense of previous human being, he's no longer like a shell. Now he's just completely a new creature,
new entity.
There's some goofy panels.
Like which one?
Page 3. Panel. First panel. When him and Abby are looking up.
Oh yeah, the way the faces are drawn.
Yeah. Sometimes they get a little goofy.
Yeah, my thing with like this series is I feel like there's times the art is pretty amazing, and then others I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
It's hard to tell. I want to say I could always tell when it's John Totleben doing the pencils. I want to say this was Steve Bissette on this issue. We could probably look at the credits right now too. But there's a dramatic difference. Totleben. I'm gonna mess up that guy's name all night because I really
actually the artist apparently is Shawn McManus.
Oh, this one's Shawn McManus. Well, I mean, that explains a lot. Right there. It's not the two guys that we're admiring. Not that it's bad, but there's some. It's kind of a scene where I'm flipping through the book right now too. There's a scene where they're kind of going to bed and everything, and it looks like Alec and his former wife, Linda or whatever. But his jaw, the way he's laughing, it looks different from other images of like it's not very consistent in some instances.
Well, yeah, something about the facial expressions are weird. Like if you go, I want to say like 3 pages back from that, where Swamp Thing looks scared, he's like, "Oh, wait."
Oh yeah, that scared look.
that
Like
scared
the way
look.
his
Like the
mouth,
way his mouth,
he looks more
he looks
apish
more
almost.
apish
You know what I mean? Like
almost.
chimp
Yeah.
face.
Chimp
You know?
face.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So I can see what you mean. And it's kind of like a summary of this entire book in terms of the art. There's times it really works. Like if you go to the next page when Swamp Thing is like digging in the ground in the rain, it looks pretty awesome. When he's walking to the barn, it reminds you of a horror story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But then like the bedroom page.
Yeah, and then you're like, why is he smiling like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
stuff like that
throws me off.
I don't know. Well, what's also interesting about this issue
in
particular though
is that
this is kind of like your recap to the Len Wein Bernie Wrightson origin. This is kind of like your issue one recap from way back when this series started. The retelling of the Swamp Thing origin and what happened, and even though Swamp, transforming that from a retelling into a nightmare that you're trying to retrace your footsteps to discover what happened and where things went. Like that's a good way to tell you what happened 20 issues ago. You know, without it being boring, without it being dull, without he's really not changing any details. It's just doing what Alan Moore does best, retelling something in his own format.
He's retelling Alan Moore.
Yeah, it's cool. Like we also get the transformation from the art styles too. In a couple pages, when the Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing is emerging from the swamp, and then the current Swamp Thing, who is 20 issues older now, or 30 issues almost older now. They're facing each other. And they're realizing it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's something different. I think that's kind of a good way to start. Alan Moore kind of slowly cranking the wheel of like we're gonna change this character. Like we're literally that's what arcs are about. Changing character, and he's basically telling you in your face, like we are turning the wheel now. we are transforming who this guy was from previous incarnations.
You know what's interesting when they're talking about like this transformation? In the flashback, or I guess not even the flashback, when he's picking up the skeleton. If you look at the page following that, he says in those dark years. So is it me, or was Alec Holland dead for years until Swamp Thing emerged?
But the Ramones remained down here in the cold all those dark years. You must have been lonely. Wow. Well, I mean, Matt Cable is still a prominent character. So, and I know the Bernie Wrightson run. That's what 10 issues. That probably goes over. You're right. I don't know. Unless he's talking about the time from when he fell. Well, yeah, you're right. Maybe not emerged, but I guess through the whole time span of these 28 issues, I guess it's been here. Like years, because I figure the first series is about a year and a half, going by like the time.
What was the issue Alan Moore came on?
19.
Okay, so who knows how much time passed from the issues 1 to 19? So
yeah, exactly. So I could see that just being years and years that he's been like traveling and going on these weird adventures. Because I don't know, I've read the first probably like 16. No, not 16. Probably the first like 12 issues of Swamp Thing, but he gets really rough. Like at a certain point. Oh, because there's a whole other volume that started. It was rebooted, and it was like another 20 issues. It was like the original series, and then it was kind of rebooted for a bit, and then Alan Moore came along during that reboot. So I've read the first full series. I always forget that. The first 19 issues aren't including the 10 Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein. There's a whole middle volume between that, and that's a lot of that's where a lot of it. If you get the omnibus, the golden or Bronze Age omnibus, or just those trades that are out now, those have all those issues, but they're it's kind of tough, you know what I mean? They're like, from the 70s, but like not the best. Like if Avengers is tough.
Is it like really goofy?
It's goofy and like doesn't he fights dinosaurs at some point. We'll just say that,
Sure. I mean, he's fought other things already.
Yeah,
so
right. It's just in his nature at that point. So it's crazy. That's putting a lot of history behind from this first issue too. Like you're saying, it's been years and years that he's been down there. and he's already experienced a lot. He's still trying to figure out this thing. Maybe time moves differently for him. You know, going by his powers and abilities.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a possibility. But that's kind of it. He kind of just makes peace with himself. Peace with the Alec spirit, and he gives him he gives his kind of former self a proper burial, and I think that's kind of a good send off as we go to the next issue, which is like now my I should have cut that scene. Just put it here. But this first page, after emerging from this like I'm at peace. I know who I am. And then Abby is just scrubbing her skin away. Love and Death, issue 29. This is one of those issues that okay, Steve Bissette and now John Totleben are doing this issue, and you can tell that like two-page spread is one of the coolest two-page spreads that I've seen. And I know I say that a lot, but I just love them. When they're done right, they're done so well.
I'm talking about the one where she's hunched over.
Yeah.
I think, the thing with, because this is supposed to be a horror comic at the end of the day, and I feel like horror is one of those things that like it's hard to do in a novel, and I feel like it's equally as hard in a comic book because, it's one thing to watch a scary movie, it's another to like read a scary book. But I think, we've talked about this briefly before in past episodes. Like with horror comics, it's kind of like the reveal. How it kind of makes you feel creeped out and stuff like that.
Yes.
The art style kind of conveys that here, especially like the scarring on the body, how it kind of looks like it's basically Arcane's face from what it seems like.
Right, yeah, you kind of get that hint from right away too. Spoilers for a 40-year-old series. I think I have started to become a really big horror fan over the years, and I'm really loving horror comics. Like that's where I found a really like what I keep on getting drawn to is like horror comics, and I think it's because you can do so much with the artwork too. Like it's not only like a creepy eerie thing, but there's so much detail you have to kind of convey or like take away or warp, and it's just one of those things. Like this page. I mean, you could do so much with this. This is like something that makes you feel creeped out visually. Like it's one thing. When you're reading a book or comic, it's sometimes you could get excited and just start like reading faster and whatnot, and the panels are moving faster. But like the way they make you sit on this image and just like take all that in and kind of get that gut wrenching feeling, like if you saw it on a camera on a film. That's what I like really enjoy when they pull off, like when it's able to capture that emotion. Because you're right, super hard to convey, super hard to do. Could be kind of corny, kind of goofy sometimes. But what isn't at that point? But yeah, like just depending how they pace it, it can really work. And I feel like this is one of those images that's like key to that. Just hunched over, you have like these things that looks like I don't know, like something's growing inside of her almost.
And not to mention just like the coloring too, like the yellows and red, like blood reds.
Yeah. And it's even like brighter on the Absolute, which is one reason why I really enjoy it. They really bring that out. And you know what? The next page is one of the coolest full-page splashes Swamp Thing ever. And you know what? This is different. Holy crap. Oh man. This isn't in. Oh, that full page splash isn't in the original issue.
Really?
Dude, check it out. This is interesting. So I'm gonna show you on here. There's this.
Yeah.
And then I turn the page. Oops, if I can't turn the page. And then there's just this one.
Wait, what?
Do you have a full page splash?
Yeah, I do.
Of Swamp Thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's added then. That's like a modern trade thing then.
It has to be then, yeah.
Well, essentially, Matt Cable had died. We'll just breeze through this. Oh man, but even that, the thing's crawling out of Abby and she's kind of tripping out. But Matt Cable had died previously in the last issue. That we saw him, and he was in a car accident. He was being, and then something came and possessed him. We saw that happen pretty much in the panels. And now he's picking up Abby, and they bought a random house out of nowhere. And Matt was like a drunk. He was like a sex addict. He was all sorts of things. And he came and kind of fixed everything, and he got a new job. And it's kind of it's crazy. They opened the door to this new place to show him the team and everything, and it's a bunch of zombie-looking people. And then she kind of blinks, and then everything's normal, everything's modern. So that again, that's a cool way to pace a horror scene. Like it's just like if you're watching it, blink, and then it's like a new setting, and you're like, okay, like the audience, we know something's going on here.
Kind of uses paneling to create uncertainty. You know, it's just one of those things that, like, if you're reading it kind of fast, you see that, and then you're just like, wait, what the hell? And so it causes you to kind of go back. And what's interesting, if you look too, the panels are, in a way, like, they're the same shape and almost the same size. So it kind of gives off, and everybody's positioned pretty much the same way in the panel. So you get the idea that it's like the same scene, the same setup and everything, but it goes from like zombies to regular people. So it's kind of showing you how Abby's like seeing things, but you're not sure if it's real or not.
Yeah. You don't get that perfectly. You're not sure if that's her, if she's tripping out, because Abby's kind of what's the word? Like a twitch? Kind of, what's that term? Like, you know what I mean? Like she's like real, always like something's going on with her. You know what I mean? But yeah, you don't know if it's her. Or if it's reality. That's the cool part. Yeah, that's the cool part. Yeah, that unreliable narrator type of thing. But then they have this house too, and she's real kind of just thrown off by it, and all of a sudden, her and Matt are okay, but she can't stop thinking about Alec and Swamp Thing. And that's really what this whole volume is about. Is her battling or trying to understand her love for Swamp Thing. Is it called Love and Death? The trade you have.
What is it called? I have no idea, to be honest. Let me see. Let me just note what page I'm on. It just says book 2 on the front. Let me see if I go to the...
Oh man, and
it is called Love and Death. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. It's the name of this issue in particular. So that's kind of cool. If you flip a few pages and we start getting into some crazy, really horrific scenes. Right after the library scene. And all but that's when she starts seeing visions. I think it says if you look at the corner of the comic book page, it says page 16. Mm-hmm. Oh, so check this out. Okay, I was just opening up my single issue, and that full page splash wasn't there. It's a pinup. In the comic book.
The one where he says, "You can call me Alec."
Yeah.
So they reversed it.
Yeah, and they just changed the lettering because it's the same. I think bubble, or a similar bubble, and they just put Swamp Thing in it.
That's so weird,
right? How?
I feel like it's fine. I didn't know the difference, obviously, when I read it, but, like, why do that?
Yeah, just cited it there. I guess maybe it could have been like an even odd page type of thing, too.
It could have been, yeah. Who knows? I mean, I don't know who makes these decisions when reprinting the series, but, you know, I guess it was put there for a reason. I don't think Alan Moore came back and he's like, oh boy, I better edit this issue.
Right.
Last thing he wants to do is have anything to do with DC.
I wouldn't. I mean, I guess that has to be. Well, it's weird because does yours have the pop posters in the back of your book? Because mine does.
All the way at the back.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to the very last page of this entire book.
Yeah, check out the last 5 pages. Because then mine has the pinup poster still. And they're all kind of just listed at the end of the issues or at the end of the very back of the book.
No.
When we flip through, maybe we'll catch it. Because that's the way mine is. It's within it. So that'll be an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. No, it just has like. No, not. Which ones are you looking at specifically?
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it
those
once we get
issues.
to
I'll
one
show
of
you.
those issues. I'll show you.
Looking at the coloring differences between these two books, there's these pages that are very like orange and like on your copy I think it looks like this. It's like very orange and yellow and everything. But in my absolute, it's full of blues and purples that are blended into it. So she's kind of like Simpsons looking orange. But everything around her is like that purple, and then you have Alan Moore's head in the corner. Did you notice that?
Where? Hold on, what? Alan Moore's head?
Yeah, check out page 18 of the comic issue.
Let's see. Wait, show me real quick.
This one right here.
Oh my god, that is his head.
Right, that has to be Alan Moore's. Who else
looks like Alan Moore?
Looks just like Alan Moore.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Right next to the lobster people or fly people, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny. This is kind of his way. He just got rid of Alec Holland and made his peace with that. But that doesn't mean he got rid of Alec Holland's like demons and his enemies. So Anton Arcane, it turns out, is like torturing Abby. And it's such a cool, again, 2-page splash too. Like this one is one of the coolest zombie images I have ever seen. It's one of my favorites. Super grotesque, super detailed. The coloring isn't too different. It's just like more prominent, I would say. So you get to see some more details in some aspects. But to tell you the truth, some parts I feel like it blurs out some of the details. Because some of the coloring is now darker.
Well, I don't have the other to compare, but
it's kind of it. I mean, this is really just like the setup for this like whole entire arc.
So the thing that I'm confused about with this issue is like it shows Abigail and Matthew being like intimate. So
yeah,
is it just like Arcane just being incestual with his niece?
Oh wait,
Let me see.
Right about that.
Oh my god, because he says just say uncle Arcane.
Yeah.
You're right. They were just banging a few issues.
Yeah, so, there's like there's this one page where they're like laying down. If you look at that page too, his face looks like a skeleton.
Oh really? Let me check that out.
It's the page where they go inside the house and then they like lay down and you can see their reflection in a mirror.
Oh my gosh! I never noticed that little detail right there.
Yeah.
Because holy crap!
Yeah, 40 years later, there you go.
Dude, you know what's cool? At the very end of the book, Arcane is like, revealing his plans.
I'm the villain.
Yeah, I've been planting seeds since the beginning. It's cool. It's cool. Like they straight up have that's a huge clue right there in itself. Well, damn. I mean, that's like issue. What was that? 29. So issue 30. Let's see here. So this one, page 2 and 3. I love the title page. I love the paneling on that. I love the angle. This is some EC Comics feels right here. Oh man, this is just like one of the trippiest like uses of paneling you can do too. Like it's just literally can make you nauseous, like the way it's spiraling. You have different eyes matching with the mouth and the animals. It's funny because that cat, its name is Spock. It's a black cat. My black cat's name is Java, but my dog's name is Spock. So I was like, oh dang. It would be heartbreaking if Spock killed something.
I know, right? It's a little bit more intense here.
Yeah. So this one too. When we talk about a horror comic, you get to do some crazy just out of this world stuff. And when you see Anton Arcane with like an eyeball bulging out with like spider legs and stuff like that, I feel like it's just one of the coolest just uses of imagery where you get to kind of go wild. You can't do that too often with other things, you know?
Well, it's also playing into like certain fears. He's got like spider legs. So it's kind of playing into that classic thing with like arachnophobia or like this unsettling imagery when it comes to like insects or arachnids. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the rotting bugs and flies, and then the spider-esque legs, and the spider web. It's
Yeah.
all things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, you even have like
you even have
the
like the
amphibian appearance too. You have like that fish head with the body crawling out of it. The creepy goat, abstract thing. They really take all those weird, bizarre, mutated, things that you would see in like folklore, and they kind of bring that into this as well. Oh man, and it's this is the issue. This is actually okay. I thought it was later on. But this is when Anton is like announcing all of his what he's been doing the last few months, how he survived, his spirit carried on and left his body, and he moved on to something else, and he found Matt Cable and he like seduced him and then took over his body and played all these things. Because in the last volume there was a Ouija board, there was that creepy kid drawing white creature. Remember
oh, that's right. Yeah,
the demon and everything. And then saying how he played out. This is cool. A choreographed disaster. It's just straight up saying like at the start of this whole Alan Moore journey. That's what he's been doing is playing with Anton Arcane.
Well, that's kind of like a classic superhero thing they're doing too. It's kind of like there's always the villain that's like the boogeyman in the back doing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's pretty common. Not like common. Okay, that's not the best way to put it. But it's one of those things, though, right? Like, you always have a villain that's the one pulling the strings.
Yeah, exactly.
And they kind of set that up with Arcane. Do you know if Arcane is an Alan Moore creation?
No, that was back Bernie Wrightson.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't even create that.
What I do wonder.
Okay.
And this can, I don't know when Crisis on Infinite Earths, I want to say it was like 84 or 86 or something.
Look it up.
But they have the monitor
here.
Did you ever notice that?
Like watching everything?
Yeah, watching everything.
Yeah,
and I was kind of curious if that was predating, or was this like a lead up into that Crisis type of thing? Where they're like, Alan, you gotta put this for DC continuity. Makes sense.
Let's see. No, I don't want the TV show crossover of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Jesus Christ.
Nobody wants that anymore.
Let's see. Okay. When did it? April 1985. What issue is this?
This is issue 30.
This is issue 30
of Saga of this one.
Thing.
No, this came out before.
Okay. This is what 82.
This is what 82.
Okay, so maybe that was like a
place type of thing.
Where they were just like, put this character the monitor in there.
They're like, hey, Marv Wolfman's gonna do this shit. Put the characters in. And they're like, okay.
Just stuff that in there.
Her
shirt's all like
low cut and everything too.
Fast forwarding a little bit, but then you have Sorry, there was a cat moment. Here in the background. Little Judy. I think this is where Tom King got all of his inspiration for his book. As Swamp Thing walked through the snow, he was like, "How do I?"
I saw that, and it all made sense for like a page.
Right? Yeah.
You're just like, oh wow.
You know what? This does seem.
Sorry. Before we move on, I just want to point out how DC just can't get their fucking heads out of their asses over Batman. They still have to put a Batman reference in this book. Don't get me wrong. I love Batman, but do we really need to talk about the Joker?
This is before it was oversaturated. This predates all of this.
This predates Suicide Squad. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we weren't tired of it. Yet.
But I was like,
this is what's really cool. Okay, speaking of which, as we approach issue 31. That's a cool thing that I was reading that Stephen Bissette was saying in one of the notes in the back of this absolute is that he's like, remember this is before computers, this is before anything, this is like before any technological achievement that makes making comics super much more simpler now. He's like, all of this was being like FedExed and UPS and USPS across the country, hand and grit and just handwritten scripts, if there was no typewriter. hand drawn everything, boards and then stuff being edited.
Yeah,
and
no
set
digital
across
art.
no digital, and like for nobody to all you had was like word of mouth with comics at a certain point because there isn't a lot of advertising, especially for this.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we like were alive during this time reading comics and doing this?
Yeah.
I'd have to I'd have to like call long distance, or not even long distance. I guess I don't know. In the 80s, would it be easy to call from California to Texas? I guess it would be.
I guess it would be.
Can you imagine?
I think that's a long distance call too. More than like 100 miles or something. That has to be.
Wait, no way. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah.
For landlines, I gotta find out about this.
As you go through that. No, I want to know. I'm really curious now. Actually.
There's always a moment of random knowledge that we do.
For the record, we were alive for this, but we're just kids. Like at this point, we're not that old. We're not that young. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Wait, 84? I wasn't alive.
Well, I mean, just like knowing what to collect call.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I never made a collect call as a kid. Like
if you're in North America, then you're making a long distance call. When you dial if you're calling outside of your area code, but within the United States, you are generally making a long distance call, but there are of course exceptions. In such cases, areas when you're making so it technically is a long distance call.
Damn.
If you're calling out of your what's it called? Area code.
Wow.
What's your area code?
Mine's 915.
Oh my god, mine is 415.
Oh wow! That's super cool.
Yeah. If it was like the 80s and we were alive, I would have to call you on a landline. Be like, bro, did you check out Swamp Thing 84 number 30? That's how it was. It wasn't like we could just like message each other.
Oh my god. Yeah, trying to have a radio show like this.
I'd have to take out my little address book to look up your phone number so I could, type it into my phone that's like the size of an oven,
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, this was at a time when you had to do that.
Yeah, so it's just like it brings another light to this book of the amount of creativity. Like having to do phone calls, and then Alan Moore lived in California, then in the UK. Like that must have been a bitch. And trying to arrange all this and hit deadlines still, and then you have the annual in this one too. So that means 2 issues. So you're like 3 issues in 2 months, like type of thing. A lot of hard work went into this book, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I can't unsee this Tom King shit with the snow. Like,
I can't either. When I got to that scene, right away, I was just
let's just talk about how Michael Janin is like an underrated Swamp Thing artist, apparently. Or is it Michael Janin? No.
Oh, that was Jason Fabok.
It's Jason Fabok. Yeah, like underrated as a Swamp Thing artist. Like,
it's dope Swamp Thing.
Dare I say, almost probably better than Greg Capullo in my opinion.
Yeah, in terms of Greg Capullo has that gritty.
Yeah, I mean, he's at a point where he just does covers too, though now. So
he's doing a lot of interior. He's doing Scott's Comicsology one. But you're right. He doesn't do any other interiors. He's not one of those.
He did covers for Justice League Dark, and Swamp Thing was on those.
Yeah, I have one of them signed in the back.
Yeah, no, it's dope. Don't get me wrong, but Jason Fabok, man, don't sleep on that.
Yeah, that dude. He's next level. He has that DC. Talked about it before. That's got the DC.
Those clean muscles. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing that makes this book great is that it's not that clean DC feel. It is dirty.
Not. It is dirty. It's crazy when you think of it that way, because like this book is like disgusting compared to other books.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
84 for DC was still like a slow year. Well, actually, this is like the beginning of DC's like takeover of the industry, because 84. If 84 was Swamp Thing, 85 was Crisis on Infinite Earth. You got to realize 1986 is one of the most important years in comic books as a whole.
We had Dark Knight
and Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen the same year. So like this is part. Dare I say, the DC Renaissance?
Yeah. This is the start of all that. This is definitely
maybe sooner. What else was going on in the 80s?
Animal Man was going on.
Grant Morrison.
Was making his
Was he doing Doom Patrol and Invisibles before or after?
I think he was doing Invisibles was after, but Doom Patrol was right around that time too. That was like the second gig there.
Yeah,
so that had to be around that time.
They were doing multiple DC books in the 80s. And this is also when Grant Morrison, when they were also, I think, Grant Morrison did a lot of drugs while writing comics, right?
Not until way later. After Doom Patrol, after all of that. Like that was Doom Patrol was himself.
Doom Patrol was them just being
Grant
Morrison.
That's just Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison.
That's all.
That's all. That
was wrong. My bad.
It's right. That's a trip.
That's a trip too.
That's
always one of my
It wasn't until like he was in his 30s, older than us.
Oh wow.
He started doing all that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Back to the Swamp Thing though. Like this is kind of like the unsung hero of that Renaissance era of DC. You know, like this was the book that was like killing it, but no one was really talking about. I guess I don't know if it was popular in the 80s like that.
I think it had to have just gained traction and had that kind of cult following that kept the sales enough to go as long as it did. You're talking. What? There's two more absolutes. These are like 15 issues. Like these are like what? 60 issues maybe? 40 issues? I want to say like 40 something issues. 50 issues of Swamp Thing.
Did he write the issues of Swamp Thing?
But did he?
No, I was like. How much Swamp Thing to Alan? What is it from? Like Alan Moore started to where he ended?
19 to I don't know. I'm not too sure. Let's see. Let's take a look real fast.
Sorry, these are things I should have known, but I guess it slipped my mind. I got the clicky keyboard to make it more interesting when I search.
Over 40 issues.
Over 40 issues.
Oh, okay. All right, so Alan Moore wrote a good amount.
Know my shit.
That's what it is.
Literally, dude, I'm just gonna just flip through this. It's a brilliant issue. It's beautiful. Like all of you should just take your time and admire the art on this one. But this is just him versus Arcane, and this is Alan Moore finally cutting off Arcane in a sense. But the important part of this issue is the very end of it, because the annual is so big. I don't want to. This kind of just leads us into the annual. But dude, this whole issue is just kind of like a bitchin' fight. Like just some dope realizations, and creepy scary stuff, and this like I don't know, James Bond 70s pink outfit, Harbinger.
I saw that. I was like, what? The 80s, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I guess disco night type of thing. But the very end of it, I think is super cool and super important. And I want to make note of it because when we get to this other series, I want to see if there's any carryover because it's been so long since I've read it. But we find out that Arcane has sent Abby to hell, and Arcane is also going to hell. He's dead. But Matt Cable still has some of his power in him, and Matt Cable is coming back to himself. And he even says, like, I don't deserve any sort of redemption. I'm not going to heal myself, but Abby's dead. So he's like, I think I can bring her back. And then he reaches over, and Abby. It turns out Abby's kind of alive. She's not all there. She's like, her blood is pumping, but there's nothing inside. And she's kind of just zombified. The last page is kind of hilarious. But it's tragic.
The one page that's hilarious is the way the cops look. Is like the dude looks so like a bro.
Oh yeah.
The one driving,
the glasses at night.
Why is he wearing sunglasses at night?
And he's a cop. And then you have like Beavis' dad over here.
I was like,
neither one of these guys. That's Beavis and Butthead's parents. That does look like.
Damn it, Beavis! What are you doing? I was like, what are you doing?
We're getting another Beavis movie.
They actually met their parents in the movie. Remember?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they met their. Hey, you guys want?
And they ditch them.
Yeah, they get like drugged or something, and then they just bounce. It got me thinking. I was like, for Beavis and Butthead, who are their moms?
Oh yeah, that's what the next movie.
That's what the next movie would be.
That's what it'll be.
And we should just do like a side, like a whole other podcast just to watch other bullshit like Beavis and Butthead and stuff.
I'd be down for that, like Ren and Stimpy and all that.
Yeah.
Sorry to sidetrack. Hey, we're launching a Patreon, guys. So maybe we'll get bonus content.
Yeah, knows?
But okay, so Matt Cable, Matt Cable just died, officially. So Matt Cable turns out is the Raven in Sandman. Neil Gaiman carried that over. And so the Raven that's helping Dream all the time, that's Matt Cable. So I want to see. We're gonna get to Sandman sometime next year. I'm sure, because the show and everything, I'm hyped as fuck, and I love it. But I want to see if there is a connection, or if there's like more reference of how that transition happened. So look into that. Annual number two.
Oh yeah, it's 2 annuals, huh?
Oh, there's just one.
There's just one. No.
Annual number one, I think, was
before Alan Moore's time.
Yeah, I forget this is the annual because that one issue with the fucking space lizards or whatever, like in the spacesuits. I feel like that was an annual.
Right? Yeah, me too. I always forget about that.
But yeah, this annual is.
I love that issue.
I know, it's so wacky. This annual, I think this is the kickoff point for Swamp Thing where things get fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is literally Swamp Thing Goes to Hell. Like this is the 80s movie everyone's been waiting for at this point.
For a full first page has like a full frontal Swamp Thing. That's when you realize Homie doesn't have like any junk.
No, you have to eat them literally.
Yeah. You have to eat them.
This is also the I want to say like the first time. Well, it says that he's done it once before, and I can't recall it. But like him leaving his body and really traveling somewhere. I think this is the first time he's traveled somewhere crazy. Like not only to like a new location, but he's like traveling through dimensions practically going to hell. You know what I mean? It's just like not in the middle. That's not how this shit works.
Well, I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's another plane of existence.
He sounded so angry. Oh shit!
He's going out to like a new plane. Yeah, that's all.
I was gonna say, like, this is the moment. Like, I know I said the art is kind of weird with the faces and kind of inconsistent, but I think the whole weird element of the green, kind of like sci-fi fantasy part of like traveling your essence through the green and the way hell looks like, I think that's when the art really shines.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's the trippy stuff. I know what you mean. When we get to like the sex scene, that's the psychedelic part. Really come out great.
That's when I was like, oh, that's why this book looks amazing.
Hey, so on your copy, on the title page, when Swamp Thing is like just like standing over, all bulging out,
sort of Abby's
over like unconscious body. Does he have like blues or like purples on him?
No, let me see yours.
Like, look at this original issue stuff.
That's the original issue?
This is yeah.
No, I don't have that in mine.
Oh wow, and it's not in the reprint either.
Hold on. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's. You can't really see the screen.
Oh yeah,
there's no.
Oh wow. So you have an iPad version of it, and
yeah, I got it on Comixology. Yeah.
Because
I'm Mr. Lazy, who I'll pay the extra money just to get a digital copy. So I
I mean, dude, you gotta have extra money.
So I don't dig the book out. Well, to be fair, I bought my Swamp Thing books for really cheap because there's a comic shop going out of business, so I got them
Oh, nice. Dude, I always wanted to collect those, and then I'm glad I collected the single issues over a certain amount of years. Only missing a handful of them. I have I have doubles I've gotten signed. And
I'm the kind of person I'd rather sign up for Comixology Unlimited to just conveniently read it on my iPad than dig out the book from the shelf. Granted, that means I have 2 copies, but I will pay that extra for that convenience. So
hey, well, I mean, I have 2 physical copies, in different formats.
Nothing against physical comics. Maybe a lot of people agree with me. I love collecting them. I love having them on a bookshelf. I like reading them. But goddamn, when you're on the go, like I am, you don't want to carry a bunch of books on you.
I got spoiled of working from home and being able to just embellish into my physical issues. But I used to always carry them everywhere, no matter what. I'm a backpack person. I always
same here. Yeah, unlike me, where I'm sitting in the back of a grocery store on my lunch, scarfing down food, trying to catch up on the books.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Dude. Again, what you're saying really plays part when we get to the dead man scene. Those
My
weird
boy.
crafty and like creature things. Oh man, that's just some dope. Those pink bubbly things are what I just love. I just adore them.
Well,
Man, they are way more vivid in the reprint. Holy crap. This looks like Matrix, like vibrant pinks, like different shades of pinks going throughout it. And then in this issue, it's just kind of very, it sticks out, but it's not as in your face.
yeah. Let me see yours. I feel like I'm missing out, like not having the omnibus and
Let me show you this real fast.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, like compared to the original.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's interesting as hell too. I think that's pretty cool. But that's the dead man scene. So I mean, he's really just looking for Abby throughout this whole issue. That's like his goal. That's like what his mission is. He's trying to get to hell. And he's kind of in a plane in between living and dying, like kind of the path where people go, and that's where Boston Brand Dead Man is. And then he's like, no, you need to go one step closer to the edge because he's about to break, and we have to go to I thought you were gonna catch that. That's horrible reference.
Go back to your reference.
That stupid lyric reference. I'll let you listen to the replay. That was stupid.
Griffins? I don't know.
What I just said.
No, I know. I was saying the lyrics. What lyrics?
Oh, it was a Linkin Park song. It was sad.
Which Linkin Park song? Am I going crazy? I'm all like reading the dialogue, and I'm like, wait, what Linkin Park song are you talking about?
That was horrible. For our audience,
Sorry.
you guys might have caught that. Don't ever let me relive that. But then we get to Phantom Stranger.
Yeah, I'm all like reading the book to like get ready to talk about it. Talking about Linkin Park. Sorry.
Your
That's
brain is like.
Yeah, no, like it totally went over my head because I'm like, I'm all on the page when they reveal the stranger, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is what I want to say about it. And, you know, sorry.
No, yeah, go on. What were you gonna say about Stranger?
I'd never seen this character before until I read this.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I know the character existed.
Oh, but like read him. I feel like I was the same way. I think this was one of my first like, kind of chances to come across this character in general. He's someone that I don't feel like it's looked at enough.
You know, he reminds me of like The Question.
Yeah, but like a haunted, creepy version.
Yeah, no. When you're making your Linkin Park reference, I'm all the stranger. Who is this man? Yeah, no. The stranger for me, like that's what I always thought was cool about Swamp Thing. That's what I was gonna say is that he brings in these fantasy magical characters, which is something that's not too like I guess like too related to Swamp Thing because Swamp Thing's a character that's like very nature based, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And like he
right?
brings in this like weird fantasy aspect to everything, like almost like magical, you know.
Yeah, we get, well, this issue itself, I should have introduced it this way. This is the first appearance of Justice League Dark.
Basically, yeah.
No, this is like credited as the first appearance.
Oh, it is because they're all together working together.
Yep. Yeah, this is the gang, like the original gang all together. Crazy stuff, and that's kind of again Alan Moore. I guess he kind of made something, like by accident, very unintentionally in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see if there's like a follow up because you kind of see this group come back together. I think later on in the series too. But you're right. These are characters that they wouldn't have been touched upon without some sort of other magical presence.
Well,
And
Alan Moore is a self-proclaimed wizard.
That was years after that too. He didn't do that till he was 40. But you can see that building up from this.
Yeah, that dude just loves magic. That or fucking I don't know what he's smoking. But
yeah. That Northampton like insanity, dude.
That Northampton.
Dude,
shit.
What's cool is speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up. When is Marvel or DC going to get into like marijuana business and have like Swamp Thing weed and like
Swamp Thing weed?
Like who's gonna beat them to? Because there's like volume 7 of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, the trade. It has him like covered in weed leaves.
Oh, volume 6. There's only 6.
Volume 6. Oh, well,
Sorry,
volume 5 or 6. Yeah.
I'm being that comic book guy. Well, actually, volume
7.
6.
And you get to like see him covered in that, and he's like appeared in the plant before. So I'm like, hey, that's a new market, guys. That's a whole new. Your offices are in California now, so $1 million idea.
It's the Swamp Thing Kush. I don't know what you would call it.
I was trying to think of names too. I couldn't think of it.
The green, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think
like a pack of like joints is like the Parliament, like
the Parliament? I mean, there is the fungal or whatever. You got the I guess. Yeah, there's that other because there's the elements of nature. That's what they're called. I think.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Man, if you had John Totleben art like on a blunt thing, I've sold. Like how?
Let me see. Where are the elements? What the fuck are they called? Damn it! I failed as a Swamp Thing fan. Oh!
I know there's a lot to know about this stuff though.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. If you had like his art on a blunt, you wouldn't be able to fit that on there unless you had a fat ass joint or something.
I mean, if it has to be Swamp Thing sized to get its point across, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, you know what? On the first panel where the Spectre appears, I just noticed that his eyeball has both Swamp Thing and Phantom Stranger inside of it. When he's saying he's opening his eyes, I don't know why I never realized that. Maybe I just didn't pay attention because there's so much happening in this page.
That's also one of the sickest pages too. Like the actual layout. Like, I think John Totleben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like his art is at its best when it's like cosmic, cosmic fantasy, other interdimensional.
Yeah. This
epic
like almost
scenes.
Lovecraftian type of craziness,
Mm-hmm.
Dang, dude. Okay, so coloring change 100%. The first page where we see Etrigan, dude, in my book, this panel, all these panels where we see him, you have colors. You have like purples and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mine are like blistering red.
Let me
Like
see.
insanity red.
What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that version of the book.
It takes some adapting. It does take some adapting.
That book is if they try to apply that DC style.
Oh, I can see what you mean there too, to tell you the truth. Yeah. It's I don't know, I guess these had like lower print qualities and stuff like that. Or the paper wasn't as rich on the original ones. And maybe this was always the intention. But man, there's some dramatic differences and stuff like this.
Hey, quick question. Is your comic book store open tomorrow?
I hope so.
I just got the notification my comics are ready for tomorrow, and I was like, they're going to be open?
Oh, tomorrow's not Thanksgiving. Well, at the day of recording this, it's not.
Yeah, well.
The day before
sorry,
Thanksgiving
my phone just notified me that I'm getting my books are ready.
I know. I can't wait to read the new Hulk.
Sorry. Anyways, speaking of Etrigan, is it Etrigan or Etrigan?
I thought it was Etrigan.
It's Etrigan?
Because it's gone, the form of man, rise the demon, Etrigan.
Etrigan. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Instead, not Etrigan. Because I feel like that rhymes better, right?
Yeah, that's true. It does rhyme better. So, the thing with the colors, though, like, the paper on the Absolute, it's like shiny, glossy, high-quality paper, right?
Yep. And
yeah,
we have like this like recycled newspaper print paper on this original.
You got this shit that my toilet paper is made from.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, that's like the classic comic feel though, like the smell of it too.
Oh yeah, that's why I gotta have both, Man, dude, there's some crazy details that are different. Like this guy's brains right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all darked out. Basically, it's all blacked out. It's just like black interior and just like the skin. It doesn't look all trippy like that with those pinks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's just such a trip what they do with the coloring sometimes. You know what it looks like? Like Etrigan, for example. Okay, and then I think your copy in this original print, he's more of like the classic Jack Kirby kind of red, that bright, vibrant red.
Mm-hmm.
And he has like the bluish cape. And it's on the reprint, he kind of has like a purplish. He looks like who's the dude from Batman of Casa Doom or whatever it's called?
Batman Khazad-dûm.
Zuranar, Batman of Zuranar. That's what he looks like in the reprint. Like that's the color shade.
The Grant Morrison Batman.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that book.
We'll do a thing on it.
We'll do an episode on it. It's like it's one of those books that's Grant Morrison just doing what they do and just writing shit for the sake of writing shit.
I love it. I know some deep cuts on that stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about it soon.
I keep getting distracted. Sorry.
No, there's so much going. That's the thing. There's so much going on. How could you not like this annual is insane. So essentially, like he just he meets up with Etrigan. He goes through each Justice League Dark member and to find Abby, and he finds her. He rescues her soul, but it turns out Anton Arcane is still in hell, and he tries to stop him. It doesn't happen.
When they introduce Arcane, well, first of all, I like how Swamp Thing just goes, "Hello, Arcane," but do you realize what he says?
I'm quite a mess. Insect eggs, hatching inside me. Very appropriate.
So is he shoving eggs in his ass?
Oh my god.
Is that like what he's implying?
I guess they're climbing up him and hatching. 'Cause that's hell.
I mean, good for him if that's what he wants.
Yeah, at that point.
I'm just like, was because this was so here's my thing, like. This was approved by the Comics Code at the time of publishing.
Was it?
Now, yeah, it says it on the covers.
Does it?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought the series was off that.
I'm looking for
Where
it.
did my copy just go? I just had it like a second ago. No.
The annual. Oh no, the annual wasn't approved, but the earlier issues were. Look at. Yeah. Oh wait, no.
No, that broke it way back in the beginning. Oh, hey.
No.
Issue 30 had it.
Yep. See, told you.
Wow, some of them were. But I guess this was one of the series that did start to break the Comics Code.
Okay, so...
You know what? Issue 30, House of Flies, and that's a pretty trippy issue, too. There's zombies and shit. I thought you couldn't do that with Comics Code. I thought zombies were a bad thing.
So, now that I know that, because I thought with the Comics Code... the previous issue was approved by one, so they had to adhere by certain rules. But this one, they obviously didn't have to, I guess, if they're showing hell. So I don't know what he was trying to do. If he's trying to say Arcane, like, casually just puts, insect eggs in his ass or something, or, like... You know what I mean, though? Like,
where do you get that he's, like, shoving him up himself?
He's like, they're hatching inside of me. Very appropriate. Ha 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 ha.
Oh wow, yeah, I get that part.
Like, is he trying to be? Is this Alan Moore? Yeah, is this Alan Moore trying to be edgy? That's what I was trying to get at.
Well, I mean, we've already had rape in the book, kind of. So
Alan
I'm not
Moore.
surprised.
I mean, it's like the next page. Like, they have like all these demons like mounting her. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that's true too.
Like Alan Moore, I don't know what's his thing with like when it comes to like weird sexual things in his books. There's always like
wait till we do a Lovecraft month one month, and then you'll be like horrified, disgusted.
Yeah, there's always. I know Alan Moore does this thing where he always has to put some sort of sexual interaction or some sort of sexual
Tarantino
assault.
and the feet thing. You know what I mean? That's exactly what Alan Moore does.
Except it's like sex or sexual assault.
Yes, it's like rape instead of feet.
Yeah, and like my only thing is like this doesn't really serve anything.
Yeah, he just does it for like a dramatic effect type of thing.
He's trying to be like
reality of the world.
Yeah, I think Alan Moore is just trying to be edgy. That's all it is.
Yeah, I can see that. It's but yeah, that's the annual. I mean, I think it's a cool annual. It's a good introduction. It's a good kind of shake up to the series in the sense of like really crossing barriers of what Swamp Thing can do and who he can interact with. You know what I mean? Not a lot of, characters have interacted with these mighty, godlike beings,
Well, he meets the Spectre. That's one of the strongest beings in the DC universe.
Yeah. So that's just like, that's dope. Like, you don't see Spectre again. You see him again just destroy shit in Crisis on Infinite Earths. You know what I mean? Like, he's like 1,000 feet tall and just like battling. It's cool stuff.
Well, Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, it's pinnacle for a reason because it's created it showed how powerful his presence really is on the world.
And we go from that to like this sad but adorable issue called Pog.
Yo, the most heavy metal fucking cover ever.
Yeah, I know. Just
Yeah,
Swamp Thing wrestling an alligator. So.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent playing in the background.
Ted Nugent playing in the background. I know exactly what song too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I got you right here. Yeah, right. You got Swamp Thing entering the water, and then, the alligators attacking him, and then, shit, what's that song called? Fuck, I'm messing this up.
Is it Free for All?
No, it's not Free for All. It's even a more intense song. This is where I wish we insert sound effects.
Maybe I can. I probably won't, but maybe I can.
Here, you got Swamp Thing attacked by an alligator, and then Turn It Up starts playing. And he starts wrestling the alligator in the water. And then right when they start getting into it, we get the guitar solo kicking in.
Oh my god, yes. That's exactly what we do. That's what Wes Craven should have done in that film.
Hey man, we should have directed a Swamp Thing movie at this point. Fuck it.
It'll be humorous and scary.
Dude, if I made a Swamp Thing movie, all I'm saying is he's wrestling alligators, he's fighting aliens, he's fighting vampires, and I don't know, he's gonna do Swamp Thing shit where he attacks people or trying to
with the stringy thingies he has
Yeah, and then you get that one scene from the show where he rips the guy in half.
Oh
yeah,
God,
all with heavy metal. Ted Nugent's apparently a big piece of shit, but that song has a crazy
I know,
solo.
It sucks. I was telling my fiance this because I got my dad's record collection, and I was like, man, Uncle Ted he's so amazing. I love Ted Nugent. Free for All is a great album. He's done some great stuff. Great guitarist, loud, heavy in your face, but he is a jackass. And I don't respect him for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
other than his guitar playing.
Isn't he super racist or something?
He's just super, just Trump, white America type of thing.
Oh,
Not white America. I'm not gonna say white America. He's not that. He's just ignorant when it comes to stuff. But that's a whole political thing that we try not to dive into for audience reasons. But fuck that. No, Uncle Ted is stupid when he says some shit. I'm not gonna lie. Go look at what Uncle Ted says. And
Uncle Ted. Sorry, I don't know why Ted Nugent comes to mind with Swamp Thing wrestling an alligator. Oh my god.
I don't know why I reference him as my uncle either. It just works.
Okay.
Hey, so as long as if you do a Swamp Thing movie or TV show and one episode has, or something in the background has this flying turtle ship, that's all I want. If I ever saw this in a Swamp Thing incarnation, even in the background, just a sunken turtle ship, I would cry from that reference. You know what I mean? I think that is they got to bring Pog back.
Yeah, it's such a weird fucking issue. It almost doesn't. It's abrupt. I don't hate it. It definitely does not need to be in this volume. This could have been the annual, because that's what annuals are. They're kind of standalone stories. But
that's how I always thought it was. I swear, until I was rereading it, I was like, oh, this is just a regular standard monthly thing. But however, remember what I was saying before too? This issue, talking about mailing all your artwork, all the scripts, trying to get stuff, deadlines and everything, UK, all that crap. But whenever an annual comes out, you still get your regular issue that month. You get the annual, and then the next month you have an issue. So talk about that insane crunch, because every issue is 22 pages. I think it's just or 22, 24 pages. Let me double check how long this one is. Oh, 23 pages, 22 to 24. And then you had a 40-page annual right before this, and it's still the same creative team. Am I correct?
No, it's Shawn Oh my god, I almost said Shawn what's his name?
Oh no, yeah.
Shawn McManus. So I'm sorry, I almost said Shawn McAnus, but no disrespect to him. It's just
well, even
McManus.
then, you're trying to control Totleben, Bissette for the 2 issues before this. That's 60 pages worth of issues, and then you had to have another story on top. So Alan was probably I'm just gonna make up some weird, wacky stuff, and it works. I mean, it's just your typical alien, 2 creatures trying to communicate type of story. They don't know each other's language. They discover that they're on the same side. They're not trying to hurt each other. One is escaping a planet that was just kind of killing itself. It was an analogy for Earth, you know what I mean? Our future and everything. And then Swamp Thing shows them hey, from what you're showing me, like look what's here, and it's these just like overweight people eating hot dogs and grease, and he's like, oh no, not here as well. And he's like, they can't do this to this lady too, meaning Earth, Mother Nature and everything. So essentially this, alien from space was from a civilization that destroyed their planet, and then he came here and he already sees the early stages of us destroying our planet. This was in 84. We all knew this, and it's like, well, I mean, the signs have been there for a while, guys, and even Alan Moore made a good crack at it. So
look how the American diet never changed. This dude's eating 3 burgers,
yes,
greasy hot dogs. I don't even know what that is. If that's supposed to be like a burger grilling, but
I think so. Yeah.
It's like, this is literally like any baseball game you go to.
Yeah, seriously. Like that's just it's the death and the toll that they're seeing that led to that destruction. That's why I'm vegan, bitch. But so then you see his friend die right after that too, and that's just
this
like a
Swamp
part.
Thing dives into the water, and then cue guitar solo.
Straight up with him opening the jaws of life.
I'm sorry, but that song. Yeah, baby, get the heavy metal going. Swamp Thing's going in, breaking an alligator's jaw.
Dude, he's swinging him around and into the water and everything.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, this would be like this would be my Swamp Thing movie. He'd fucking shit's a fucking heavy metal ride.
And then while Yoshi's dying in the background, just like
it's super sad. They're like adorable aliens too.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and they take off. They just bury the body and take off. And there's 2 more issues left in this volume. Man, so this one too. This is very similar to an issue we saw at the very beginning of this, because not only did Alan Moore go back and reference Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein's Swamp Thing story, but now they are referencing House of Mystery, or is it Secrets? House of Secrets, I think.
It's 2. It's House of Mystery and House of Secrets.
But which one was the Swamp Thing first appearance?
Well, this issue has mystery. No, this issue has secrets that she sees.
So then I think it was mystery. Wow, we don't even know like Swamp Thing's like first appearance. Let me see. Swamp Thing. It was.
Hey man, Swamp Thing didn't.
Secrets 92.
Okay, 92.
Yeah. Oh, number 92, Swamp Thing. It was 1971 that came out, but Swamp Thing number 1 came out in 1972.
See,
so did you ever read the original Swamp Thing story?
Dude, I've always said Swamp Thing's existed to me from when Alan Moore started writing it.
Oh shit! So this is a direct reference to that original short story. It was a short story that Len and them did, and yeah. So that I think that's pretty cool. Like he went back to both origins and kind of paid respect to both of them all together.
Mm-hmm.
So
man, comics were 15 cents back in 1971. What a time to be alive.
Oh, dude, yeah, right. You would now that issue is worth like thousands and thousands. I'll never own it.
Really?
Not for a while. Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me go on eBay real quick. Let me get a live feed right now. Tell everybody how much this issue is worth.
Oh, let me see who
House
did
of
the
Secrets.
art. 92.
That was Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, but they did a short story and then they
Yeah.
revamped the character.
Woo! Sorry, this shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Dude, guess how much a 3.5 costs?
Oh, you're looking at like 10 grand, right?
For a
5 grand?
3.5?
Yeah.
That's a little over 1,000.
Oh, okay.
But that's a 3.5. How much
see
is... Let's see, 4.0. 8.5 goes for 5 grand on eBay.
Oh, wow. Hey, could be worse.
Could be a
What's a
Detective
9.8
Comics
going
#1.
for?
A 9.8? Let's see. House... I'm typing with one hand. House of Secrets. 92. You said 9.8?
Yeah.
I don't even think a 9.8 is on here.
Oh, it just might not. Yeah, we'd have to go to an auction site probably for that.
Yeah.
Those are rare.
let
I
me
mean, that's a
see.
rare book to have in that condition too, from
Let
71.
me see, a 9. Well, 4.0 goes for $3,000. So I'm gonna
Oh, wow.
assume if you double that
I
number,
would
you
say
double
that's
the
gonna be
price.
10 to 15 at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, because an 8 would be possibly what, $6,000?
6 to 8. Sure, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're looking at like a solid $10,000 issue.
Mm-hmm.
Man, makes you wish like you just go back in time, just grab a couple. I wouldn't even sell
know,
it.
right?
I just want a
I
copy.
just want a copy because I won't get a copy. That's it at this point. Um. Okay, so this is one of those issues. I think at the end of mine, it has the poster gallery. Yeah,
Let
it
me
does.
see.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's something I want to talk about with this issue that's interesting. Yeah, it does. It has the special poster gallery.
Yeah. So yeah, you get the original like look that Swamp Thing had back in the day from that first issue. You get pretty much a recap and a kind of a retelling of the original origin. So I always thought it was a real fascinating issue in that sense, just because of
Yeah. Well,
again.
So Alan Moore is doing that thing where he's like setting up his whole mythology, right? He's beginning the process of like creating his Swamp Thing world, I guess you could say. And the thing is, he doesn't really talk about it anymore after that for a while.
Yeah, he doesn't, because then you kind of get a recap of what was, and he kind of respects it, and it even says in here, that there was others before him. So I guess the previous, like, almost like hosts, pretty much, saying that pretty much actually what this issue does is put that original short story within Swamp Thing continuity, kind of like the multiverse aspect.
Yeah.
Saying he's not the first thing to walk the swamps. There were others before him, and these other versions that came, and that's like even adding more history and lore behind the character.
Yeah,
dating back to the Parliaments and all that.
Yeah, because that was all Alan Moore. So
Yeah.
he's kind of like planting the seeds.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I don't think anyone saw that coming. And if you read the Charles Soule run, it gets even more interesting.
Oh, really?
Do you care if I spoil it?
No, I'll read it one day and I won't remember.
Basically, Charles Soule, I think it was Charles Soule's run because I think his run's better than Scott Snyder's. But he does this thing where the Parliament is pretty much like obliterated and Swamp Thing becomes like the Parliament of Trees and like the essence of the Green himself. And he severs the whole reincarnation of Swamp Thing where it's a new person. And he becomes like eternalized as Swamp Thing.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And then you find out there's another force or element of nature that's considered like the element of art or something. So like there's like avatars of music, avatars of literature and all that. And then Swamp Thing gets offered to become part of that. But then the book ends with him like pondering it.
I gotta read that then, because I didn't dig Snyder's version of Swamp Thing. It really wasn't.
His version sucks. I'm
sorry,
it. Oh, it
it's
doesn't
not
suck.
mine.
Okay, I shouldn't say that. That's too harsh. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not what I expected out of it.
No, the Charles Soule one's way better.
We'll revisit it one day. Check out that whole storyline.
Yeah, well, we got 5 more years before we finish Alan Moore, so.
Yeah, right. But let's get to so that I thought that was a great homage. I think that's a great way to like kind of also look at the very last panel. The very last panel.
Oh, his face in the paper.
Yeah, it's Swamp Thing's face. You could totally see that, huh?
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Well, I didn't know this is an homage to House of Secrets, so I'm a fucking fake fan apparently. But
cool stuff, huh?
Well, the one thing in this issue is that Cain and Abel.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
it is, right?
Yeah, because
okay.
they were part of House of Secrets, House of Mystery, and then they were really brought on and got popular with, kind of not popular, but came back with Sandman.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, no, I didn't catch that was Swamp Thing's face like in the paper. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, when I was reading it today, that's when I caught it too. It was pretty cool. So this is one of my favorite covers. I think this is just like a beautiful work of art. Like I think it's just.
Oh yeah, you don't like this one?
the goofy Swamp Thing smiley face. I know.
He looks like he purrs like a walrus.
Yeah.
He's like, purr. I don't know how walruses purr, but it's like, it's like a soft Chewbacca.
Oh, just breathing. That's just Swamp Thing breathing in general.
But yeah, no, like these were like art pieces. These covers.
Yeah.
It was like there's like 6 of those paintings.
Yep. And they are all just beautiful, just insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like looking at this first printing of the comic, I'm kind of flipping through it right now. Before we get to the big scene, I'm just stop right when when he takes the root out of him. I'll just fast forward to that scene.
Wait, why does he go to the water to take it out?
Because he has to I guess chemicalize it or something. You know what I mean? Essentially, Matt Cable's knocked out. Abby's back. She's alive. She goes to visit Matt. He's like a vegetable. But
oh no. Oh no.
But honestly, the coloring really does it more justice in this reprint because it just seemed more vibrant and like loving and astonishing, and
oh yeah, that's true. I'm saying it's that DC style they're applying. It's just like glossy, muscles are more defined and all that shit. Yeah, because if you look at this version, like it doesn't hold up the best. Like look at the way
the fruit is.
No, just in general, like the lines aren't really good.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because that's a even different quality printing. It's crazy what paper will do, and like different transformations in print quality. Oh, but this is like the issue where like this reprint really shines because the psychedelic aspect that you love, especially, and that I just fucking adore. Like, dude, it is so much more colorful.
Yeah, and it's doing that thing you have to manipulate the book to read it.
Oh, and see, this I don't mind because you know what? The panel guides you that way. It's not just some random bullshit like in some comics, like where it's just like, oh, we're gonna flip the page for no reason other than poor composition.
Hey, look it, you're not reading it conventionally. Buy my book.
Look at this one. This is even different from yours, isn't it?
Let me see.
Oh no, it's about the same, huh?
Yeah.
Yours is just a bit like darker. Well, I know you're gonna watch YouTube later, but since we're recording this, let me show you this.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, right? That's just insane, that difference. Like,
yeah,
it really makes that that whole art trip.
The thing with me
else.
is like this just proves Alan Moore just wants to try to put some sort of sexual aspect into his books. And notice, like, for instance, like they have that like the root at their crotches, kind of like connecting the two of them.
Oh wow, yeah, that's very true, huh?
Yeah. I wish like if he could explain like why. I'm not complaining. I'm just more curious. Like, why does he always have to do this?
It's become like a trope. It's not even like he's doing something unique and fascinating. At this time he was for sure.
Yeah.
But like now it's just like this is expected from an Alan Moore comic.
It's creative. Don't get me wrong, and the way the way it's executed is pretty crazy. But it's essentially him trying to put a sex scene into a comic book.
Okay, so look at that page in your book, the one that we're on right now. It's like the one with like the one where it's talking about. I always love this line. Where is it? Or maybe it's on this previous page. One of my favorite lines. Where he's just like, my hand shatters the pool. 100 glass beads exploding out between my fingers. A brief anti-gravity necklace settles against my throat, collapsing, dissolving, warm as it trickles away. I don't know why. I just love that line. A brief anti-gravity necklace. Like, it just comes out.
The way everything's written in this is just really well done. It's kind of like poetry, honestly.
Yeah. This is the most, I feel like, poetic issue we get, and I feel like this is one of the most defining issues with like a poetic structure to it, and I think I love that. Everything, the way he's using words in this whole fucking part is so. Through him, I spiral with the swamp, sopping, seeping dragonflies, stitching neon threads through the damp air surrounding me. Like, reading that stuff out loud is insane.
It doesn't sound like cheesy comic book dialogue.
No, it's a whole nother beast. You also get like your first like Swamp Thing woman incarnation.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Abby, right?
Creature. Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because she's never been Swamp Thing, but I feel like that's an opportunity they could have had.
But damn, the art, like this is part of, I don't know how much of Miracle Man you've read, but
I've read all of it.
Oh, you have? Okay, so then
Yeah.
Volume 3, when Totleben is really going crazy with the Olympia stuff, that's like where this kind of carries over from. And yeah,
Are you talking about when Neil Gaiman wrote it?
No, Alan Moore's last.
Oh, his last volume. Because Neil Gaiman's artwork, or not his artwork, but his artist.
Mark Buckingham, yeah.
Yeah, because they do the Golden Age shit where it looks like heaven and all that. This shit looks crazy.
You wanna be able to give me some shit?
What?
I've never read Neil Gaiman's Miracle Man.
What? The guy that loves fucking Sandman? Like, what's the matter with you?
You're just like, I quit.
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
I've actually read all of Miracle Man because when Marvel was able to reprint it, it was like a big deal.
Buying it. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Yeah. I got the hardcovers for that. I don't have
I have the single issues actually.
I have the single issues of the original prints.
Damn, that must have been pricey.
No, actually, I got like it's just that was like my hunting era. When we were talking to Jack Kirby about going on the hunt and having a list of issues you're always just kind of looking for, that's like one of those series. I'm only missing a handful now.
Did it say writer Alan Moore?
No, these were all like from
It said original writer?
No, it said Alan Moore.
Oh, it did say Alan Moore. Yeah, because in the reprints it says original writer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think he didn't want his name on that stuff. That's crazy. Well, I can't wait to do Miracle Man. We got to discuss when we're going to do that. But that's Alan Moore Swamp Thing. It's just, this was really more, I feel like this episode we really just dove into the art. Because it's like, we all know the writing is great. And I don't feel like this book gets enough credit for how astonishing the artwork has always turned out.
That last issue is probably their best art-wise in the entire series, too. Like the way paneling is, the way it's written, and its pacing. Like a lot of the panels. So, how do I put this? The artwork does a lot of the lifting in this last issue, and not to say the words don't either. It's just the words are very sparse, and they kind of just like abbreviate what they're trying to express on the panel.
Yeah, I can see that. This is in the like. At the back of this book, where there's a letter from Steve Bissette talking about the whole process, it was a perfect example of talking about like this is us like doing freeform jazz. We're all like masters of our craft. We all knew like we not masters of our craft, but they were all fluent in their instruments. That's how he put it. We're all fluent in our instruments, and we got together and we made art, and that's what happened. Like you got these guys together. And they reinvented this creature, and it couldn't have come out any better. It's just one of those things where you had the right people at the right time with the right vision to really bring this up to something else. One day I will own a Totleben Swamp Thing sketch or something, because it's just a must.
Mm-hmm. You got to get this sketch though. That should be the thumbnail for this episode.
I'll look for it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm an asshole.
I love it though. It's so
I like how you're like, this is like the pinnacle. These guys are creating freeform jazz of comics, and John, like, I need a John Totleben sketch of Swamp Thing. And I'm like, yeah, but this one. Yeah, no, dude, I agree.
They would make clay sculptures of Swamp Thing's face for reference.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, I'll show it to you.
He's not an easy character to draw. Yeah, no, I think like I agree with you though. Like it's like I agree with you why you would want to sketch though.
Yeah, this is just his his cross hatching is very like
unappropriate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Man, but it's always a good journey. It's always a good trip back.
Yeah, no, I think this book, I've always told people like the thing with Swamp Thing is it's a love story, and I feel like that last issue, of course, really exemplifies that. Obviously.
Yeah.
But, it's just, I think this one is just another example of like why the series was so good. Obviously, it's really good artwork. I think the whole fantasy aspect of it all is like what really like helps take it off the ground. I mean, we see aliens, hell itself, demons, Arcane. I think shown for the first time for the series, or at least for Alan Moore's run. So I mean, this volume does a lot, but it's definitely a volume that I feel like you could, in a way, almost skip entirely. Besides reading the last issue.
You know, that was a big part, you know, when we were talking about covering this whole volume, that, you know, I was even considering just focusing on that one issue, because you really could do an hour talk about that one in particular, because that's like a really important one in terms of what you're saying, you know, like how the art connects with the words and how it, you know, kind of elevates each other. But this whole volume, you know, the first one I feel is pinnacle almost every issue. You're kind of seeing this new change. But
I kind of explain a whole new origin story.
Yeah, they bring him about and everything, and it's this one. You're right. It's like, okay, Matt Cable's dead.
Yeah, Abby dies, but then she comes back.
Honestly, if you cut out, because he was in a car crash, and then you come back and he's in the hospital and he can't breathe or anything, so it is a perfect, like, you could remove this entire volume and just throw in that last issue. You're absolutely right, and just pick up. He's in the hospital. They have sex. Like,
they have sex. We were laughing way too much for this episode. Like, but no, yeah. It's one of those things that, like, you get the backstory of the other Swamp Things, you get the you get Abby kind of dying and going to hell, but then she's like alive again within an issue, so it kind of like doesn't really matter in a way.
Yep.
Because there's no repercussions.
No, they're really.
No, the plot doesn't really move forward.
I mean, Anton comes back, but he's like so easily destroyed and defeated. It's not really like a heartbreaking or epic type of battle. You get that one, like, you know, couple pages, but that's about it. Anton's at his weakest, I feel like, from what we've seen in previous issues.
But then Swamp Thing does swing that alligator around.
Remember, this video is gonna get flagged for a copyright infringement.
I mean, yeah, I know, right? I was gonna say Ted Nugent seems like an asshole enough to.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Used a fraction of my stuff.
Yeah.
Give me some money. Gonna give it to the Republican Party. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I truly do think, like, as awesome as this book is, you could cut out the first like 5 issues.
Yeah, you know, you could just pick up like at the annual or the issue before the annual and the last issue. Like, if you want to add some, like, you could either go straight to the last issue or add those other 2, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Because everything with Matt doesn't matter.
No,
like,
he's just kind of back in the hospital.
Yeah, like his whole story, he was dead. It was just a floating corpse, and it was just like a zombie story arc that they wanted to do because it was scary.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what I thought? Yeah, I do agree with you. But the thing that was confusing, sophisticated suspense.
Yeah, that's when they really started to change it. Yeah,
I was like, I guess, sure.
This was the era that, like, this was, but also remember what comic books were before this. Like, of course, this is the most sophisticated. Like, you weren't seeing language like this. You weren't seeing poetry in a comic. You weren't. There was so much inside of this that just wasn't.
The writing does hold up, like, compared to Crisis on Infinite Earth. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna get hated for saying this, but that book is not good.
I mean, I remember it's a nostalgic book for me. I'm gonna say that, so I really can't defend it.
Okay. Here's my.
And I haven't read it like in over a decade either, so let's go for that.
It's awesome in scope, but it's kind of like, here I go. I'm about to fucking have everybody want to hate me forever. But it's kind of like the Chris Claremont X-Men. Like, it's cool. The ideas are awesome. Like, the characters are hella sick. And then you read the dialogue, and you're like, God, this is hard to read. And, like, you realize other comics were like that, except for, you know, comics like Swamp Thing or the ones that came out in '86, like Batman or Dark Knight Returns.
Miller and Alan Moore, just, you know, they were practically just pioneers in being like, well, this needs to get good at some point. Like, let's like elevate it from being childish, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's their mark. That's what makes it so. I guess it stands out so much because if you try to like go back to Bronze Age books from that day, like neither DC or Marvel is doing anything good. There's really not much going on for either company at this point.
In the
There was
80s,
no, yeah, like,
I mean, there's Daredevil.
but Daredevil was again one of those books that was like changing the way for a lot of
Yeah.
stuff too. You know, that was the Swamp Thing over at Marvel practically. You know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, this keeps you entertained as you eat at your table.
Yeah, right. It's a 2-hour discussion about
When you're sitting with your family and we're talking about plant sex.
yeah. And we
Ted
didn't even
Nugent.
touch on the we didn't even touch on the subject of like he gave her a plant and it was just a drug. Like she just tripped out hardcore and he basically gave her drugs and they fucked. So I don't know. That's like another whole topic of like, okay, so I mean, yeah, it was consent, you know, but I mean, like, was she really ready for that?
Was she prepared to be like drugged on the biggest trip of her life?
Yeah.
Well, it's Alan Moore. He tries to get that shit in there. So, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Let me just say, I don't hate the guy. I feel like there's some problematic themes about his writing sometimes.
You know, I agree. I have a huge Alan Moore collection. Let me tell you, I have so many of Alan Moore's works, and I've read so much, and I have a whole section like almost a whole shelf over here of like Alan Moore stuff, and I still collect it. I still read it. But there's just like some stuff that as you read more and like understand writing and storytelling in a different, you know, I guess like in an actual mindset, it's good every so while when the story calls for it. But when you're just like, it's like all you're doing in all your books and it's like a repetitive theme where you're just like, okay, this doesn't need to happen in every one of your stories, Alan. Like, you know, like it's just one of those things. Like,
a lot of writers, especially a lot of famous writers, have their tropes.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times has Tom King had like a character have like a fucking melodramatic breakdown in his books? The superhero
Every
is
single one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least that's like touching you in a different way than like just constant like rape scenes in all these.
Yeah,
books.
that's true. Yeah, no, it's like it does get old really fast, and it's like when you do read all of Alan Moore stuff in retrospect, like why does he keep doing this?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for him to keep doing this.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. And maybe that's just what I've noticed as I've gotten older, reading more comics and more of his comics.
Yeah, that's what I mean too. Like you start expanding your library, and you know we've read so much of certain authors. Like I know you and I kind of search when we buy books. We look at creators, not so much characters anymore.
Mhm.
You know, the character could be almost any character, but if we see certain creators on it, we're gonna check out what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. Like I've read so much of his work, and you start to see these patterns, and you're like, you're better than this. Like that's
Like why
Let
are
me
you doing
give me
this?
something that's not gonna like upset my girlfriend. You know, like it's one of those things. Like so. But hey, I mean, I'm glad we got to do this episode this month. Guys, if you're still listening, stay tuned for December. We have so much. We have some Hawkeye stuff, some Batman stuff, a lot of Batman stuff actually, for as much as we talk
Good
about too
old
much
Batman.
And we have an old Shazam commentary coming back out that we did earlier in the year. And then we hit the new year, a lot of new stuff going on there. Keep an eye out for our live episode. It'll be on audio as well a few days after the live. So, man, I don't know. Brandon,
Brandon,
thanks for hanging, man.
thanks for having me.